We're getting to the business end of the season and we still find ourselves top of the table, still find ourselves in the Champions League and within 2 games of lifting the DFB Pokal. Can RB Leipzig pull off an incredible treble in my first season in charge? But as ever, if you're enjoying the series so far, please feel free to like and subscribe and let's get into today's episode. And of course, we are starting out with your comments. After signing Chevalier, you've gone the entire episode without conceding. Also, Amar Dedic has gone totally unnoticed ever since signing with the club. So yes, I gave this man, Peter Gualachi, my original number 1, 6 months to try and prove his worth and establish himself as my number 1 choice goalkeeper, but with him being 33 years of age and only 82 rated, and with him making a few howlers in the opening few games, I thought enough was enough and it was time for me to turn to a more youthful outlook, someone who was 11 years his junior, and bring the young Lucas Chevalier in between the sticks instead. And you are absolutely right, 8 games played so far, he's already got 4 clean sheets, 3 of those coming in just 5 Bundesliga games. He's been an absolute revelation so far in goal for me, and with him now firmly establishing himself as my number 1 starting goalkeeper. The bigger question is, what do I decide to do with the 33-year-old Hungarian? Do I look to sell him on in the summer? Do I keep him around as my backup goalkeeper? Let me know down in the comments what you think. And you're totally right about this man, Amar Dedic. He's come in under the radar in the summer as he was only 73 rated at the start. He's already gone up by 2, now up to 75, and he is really showing some great potential with him just being 21 years of age and with him having a fairly decent skill set right across the board, especially his physical stats and his pace. Not only has he showed some pretty decent performances across all competitions this season, but he has also pushed this man, Benjamin Henrichs, all the way. He's forced him to level up his game, and the right back this season has also been in tremendous form. RB Leipzig is a club known for generating talents. By either Silva, the Portuguese centre-back, or Scalvini, the Italian centre-back, both are solid to replace Orban. So yes, speaking of Orban, whilst he is my captain, whilst he is my leader of men and supposedly my highest rated defender, he has been a little bit shaky over the course of the first half of the season, especially when it comes to giving away silly fouls and silly penalties in really important games. And with me wanting to have a very youthful outlook to this squad, and obviously wanting to play a high pressure, gegenpressing style, and with his pace and his physical stats being absolutely through the floor, only having 50 acceleration and 48 agility, he really doesn't have the sort of stats that I need to try and play this sort of system. So I put the question to you, should I stick with him, give him another chance to try and see if he can prove his worth in the second half of the season? Or perhaps should I turn to a younger model in Castello Luqueba, who has been doing pretty well so far this season? He's already up by 2 ratings and he's only 21 years of age. Would he be the man to form the foundation of my defence alongside his national compatriot Mohamed Simakan? Or should I go completely the other way and try and see if I can speak to my scouts and see if they can bring in any new talent to try and play in defence instead? And you spoke with an overwhelming majority, so many of you wanting me to start Castello Luqueba instead of Willy Orlan at the heart of my defence. It seems like the young Frenchman has done enough so far in the opening part of the season to show that he does have that great potential and he does have what it takes to try and form a lethal partnership at the back with this man Mohamed Simakan. So unfortunately for Willy Orban, the masses have spoken. He will lose his place in the starting 11 to be replaced by this man Luqueba. And finally, here are some other suggestions for improving the defence. Piero Hincapié, he's an absolute beast in a gegenpressing system. Lots of stamina, insane strength, and has a slide tackle trait to quickly stop counter-attacks without giving fouls. I got him for 28 to 32 million, so you should easily be able to buy him for Season 2. Jean-Claire Todibo, a French centre-back with 86 potential. He grows at an insane rate and has the physical stats to help against teams with good attackers like Bayern and Dortmund. And number 3, Ibanez. He also has an 84 potential and a very high sprint speed and acceleration. You can definitely use these to chase down counter-attacks or make rapid interceptions. Please feature this in an interview. Well, you've got your wish. So firstly, thank you very much for your contribution yet again, and you raised some very interesting points and some interesting players I do want to take a look at. Now, obviously, if I am going to make the decision in the summer to try and move on this man, Willy Orban, I'm obviously going to need to bring someone in to replace him. And so starting off with Piero Hincapié, with him only being 22 years of age, he would certainly fit into the mould of the types of signings that I want to make for RB Leipzig. As you can see, I haven't scouted any of these players so far, but it seems like from the overall rating that he would have some decent physical stats. Plus, with him only playing for Atletico Bilbao, I think a move to RB Leipzig would denote a step up in his career and hopefully to try and play Champions League football next season. Now, Jean-Claire Todibo was a man who was heavily linked to a few different Premier League clubs last summer, and you can understand why. With him being 24 years of age, 6'3", an absolute powerhouse, and seemingly having pretty decent physical, mental and technical stats as well, it is not hard to see why he is on the minds of several scouts in in the Premier League. He's definitely another one who I'm sure could fit in very nicely in this RB Leipzig setup, plus the fact he is French and he would grow to the ever-growing French contingent at the club. And finally, Roger Ibanez. Perhaps he did surprise many with the move to Saudi Arabia in the summer, but would he be interested in a move back to European football, just like perhaps someone like Jordan Henderson was? Let's see whether or not he would be available at a more reasonable price once I get him scouted. As for today's episode though, as we are beginning now to head into the final couple of months of the season, and with us performing well in all competitions, still maintaining our spot at the top of the Bundesliga, still having one eye on a final place in the DFB Pokal, and still hoping we can pull off a miracle in the Champions League and get ourselves to the semi-finals beating Atletico Madrid. Once again, it is time to turn our attention to the football. But it certainly is not the start we would have wanted. A late winner by Friedel in the 89th minute means we lose 1-0 away from home, and that is a huge 3 points dropped. And it's followed up by more disappointment, and it's another, this time 2 points dropped, as we can only get a 2-2 draw, this time at home against Mainz. Surprisingly though, whilst 1 point from 2 games would seem like a disaster in our title fight, with Dortmund and Munich seemingly still suffering from the same fate, it means somehow, some way, we still retain our 2 point gap at the top. Speaking of Munich though, my word, what a game we are about to have in store for you. Having knocked out Union Berlin in the previous round, we have now secured a mammoth clash against our German rivals Bayern Munich. This will be the 4th time this season we've played them, and hopefully, once again, we will be able to secure victory against them, and hopefully secure our spot in the final of the DFB Pokal. And in terms of my starting 11, no major changes to what you usually see. Chevalier keeps his place in goal. Dedic, Simakan, Keber and Raum start at the back. Schlager, Seewald in midfield. Elmas, Dani Olmo in the attacking areas behind Sesko and Openda up front. Here we go then. We've managed to secure victory against Bayern Munich twice in the Bundesliga this season. However, in the big games, they have beaten us when they beat us at the very beginning of the season in the German Super Cup to make sure that we were trophyless at the start of the season. And it looks like they are trying to do the same thing here today, as Harry Kane, within the opening 6 minutes of the game, from absolutely nothing, gives Bayern Munich the lead here. They just walked through my defence. No one putting in any challenges. And when you give Harry Kane, of all people, that much time and space in the box, of course the world-class Englishman will make you pay. In his first season in a Bayern Munich shirt, he is eager to add to his trophy cabinet after years of drought at Tottenham. What a way to start this game, 1-0. So it's Raum to try and burst down the left-hand side. We've got to shake off the cobwebs here and try and see if we can find a way back into this game as quickly as possible here, as Openda is going to try and bring this one to the right-hand side, into the right-back Dedic. Cuts it back. I was looking for the ball back into Openda. It was well defended though. And now Kingsley Coman, the Frenchman, can bring it forward into Konrad Laimer. Harry Kane into Kingsley Coman. This is going to be a very speedy counter-attack here from Bayern Munich. Guerrero though back into the centre, into Kingsley Coman. They're just opening my defence up, but Will here as Kane lashes in his second strike and his second goal of the game. Defensively, we are all over the shop at the moment. What has happened to us since last episode? Well, in the big crunch games, every single time, in all the career modes I seem to do, I seem to fall apart, and today is no different. 16 minutes in, Bayern Munich take a 2-goal lead, and it is going to be a big ask for us to come back from this one. But we've got to lift our heads here. They have dropped massively, but we have got to try and seize this opportunity. Show some resilience and character to fight our way back into this game, as it's thrown in from Elmas. Openda couldn't get on the end of it. Seewald though does. The loose ball falls to Elmas once again, and he's going to drive down the right-hand side. He's going to try and see if he can pick out another ball. Only as far as Delict though, heads it down, back into the path of Elmas. Seewald nods it down, into the path of the right-back Dedic. Just playing it around the edge of the box now. Elmas is going to look for another opportunity to cut it back into Dani Olmo, but it falls kindly to him. And on the return volley, he does get the ball in the back of the net. I will try and run to the back of the net to collect the ball. RB Leipzig are back in this game. Well, if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. I tried 2 different crosses in the box from Elmas. They didn't work either time, so instead I went for the tried and trusted cut back into the path of Dani Olmo. His first attempt didn't work, but we got a little bit of luck. It fell into his path, and on the return volley, he just fired it into the bottom left-hand corner to make it 2-1. Well, what an exciting opening 26 minutes here in Munich. It is game on here as we try and see if we can find a route back into this game to level the scores, as Javier Schlager wins it back in the heart of midfield, but then goes and gives away a foul. Into Benjamin Šeško, really nicely turned away, and now he's going to feed a ball right over to the top, into the Spaniard, who gets there ahead of Delict, and now Dani Olmo plays it into the path of Openda. Oh, he should have scored. The man of the moment at the moment, who's in so much form. How did he miss? The goal was open for him, and Manuel Neuer with a brilliant save, but Openda, he just, oh my word, he needed to do better in that situation. Dani Olmo down the line into Benjamin Šeško, who plays it now into the path of the left-back Raum. Raum into the box he goes, throws it across to absolutely no one. Elmas completely misread that one, and Bayern Munich can bring the ball away here with Konrad Laimer into Harry Kane, the goal scorer, full of confidence here after his 2 early goals. But we're pinning Bayern Munich back here, but they have managed to just feed a ball over my midfield into the path of the right-back Herrera. Now calls the danger man. Harry Kane has it on the edge of the box, but Castello Lukeba coming in for Orban does the job, wins the ball really well, and now he can bring it out of defence. Well, as we begin the second half, it's 2-1 here on the scores, but my word, it should be 2-2. A huge opportunity for Lewis Openda that he didn't take, and I've just got to hope that that does not come back to bite us. Dedic on the right-hand side into Elmas, who has been an ever-present so far this season in my team. Openda tried to look for Šeško, couldn't find him. Good interception by the Bayern Munich midfield, and now Kane can bring it away into Sane. Sane back into Konrad Laimer, twisting away. I'm trying to see if I can get my defence sorted out here, but we've been opened up at will. What a save from the goalkeeper, but it falls straight into the path of the now hat-trick hero, Harry Kane. It's his 3rd of the game, and once again, Munich have daylight. Well, sometimes defensively, I get so frustrated with this game. I'm smashing L1 to try and see if I can get some focus on the players nearest the ball, and it just seems to shift it away. I don't know what on earth is going on. It just allowed Munich to just walk through my defence, and look how frustrated I am. It's 3-1 into Dedic, just as we managed to get ourselves back in the game. Bayern Munich turn it on its head again, but now we've got a chance for Openda to try and right the wrongs from earlier, and he does just that. Lays it on a plate for Benjamin Šeško, and he is not going to miss from there. Once again, we are back into this game. It's 3-2. What a game we have here. Well, it was a lovely ball through from Elmas into the path of Openda, and he just managed to find the space in between the 2 defenders to cut it back yet again, this time into the path of his strike partner Šeško, and he's not going to miss from there. 3-2. Well, this is an absolute thriller at the moment. Arguably one of the games of the season so far. Every single time both teams look to go forward, they look like they're going to find the back of the net, and Bayern Munich are going to hope to do the same thing for a 4th time this game. Harry Kane now out to Kingsley Coman, who tries to use his pace to get away from the right back. He does just that, but Dedic comes across. Good defending. There's going to be a corner here that Sane is going to take. He's going to float it into the near post here. Seewald heads it clear, only out as far as the German once again though, who chests it down really nicely to get away from Seewald. Plays it into Musiala, who strikes. What a save from the goalkeeper. Bayern have got another corner here, and it's another opportunity, but it looks like they're going to try and play this one short, straight from the training ground. Musiala takes it around Seewald. Musiala still has it on the edge of the box, plays it into Badaf Koke. Low shot, good save again. Well, now it's Musiala on the edge of the box, who goes to strike. It's off the post. Oh my word, Bayern Munich are absolutely peppering my goal at the moment. It's Yusuf Poulsen on as a substitute down into the left-hand side to Raum, the left-back, to try and bring this one into the edge of the box here. Can I try and find the cutback into Baumgartner, also on as a sub. He shifts it onto his right, plays it against the defender, trying to bundle his way through. In the end, they just about get it clear. Leroy Sane now into Kimmich on the right-hand side. Kimmich tries to go past Lukeba, does do just that. Harry Kane now into Laimer. Sane back into the goal scorer Kane, looking for his 4th. It is now Musiala yet again. Lovely little turn into the path of Coman, into the box. Oh my word, plays it over. Well, how many big chances are both of these 2 teams going to waste? It could be an absolute cricket score at the moment. Cannot believe it's only 3-2. It could be about 10-9. And at the moment, we're going to try and see if we can add to our tally. Schlager manages to find his way forward into Haidara on as a sub. Tries to play it into the channel, looking for the pace of Openda, and Openda has managed to reach it. He's going to try and play it across. It wasn't the best ball. It's easy for Neuer in the end. Round the corner into Baumgartner. Only a matter of minutes, moments remaining in this game. If we're going to try and find a way back into it, we have to get the job done here as Raum bursts into the box, looks for the cut back into Openda. What a challenge from Konrad Laimer. If he didn't do that one, Openda would have struck, and frustratingly for me, it was the last attack of the game. Bayern Munich get their revenge from losing to us in the Bundesliga. Once again, in a big knockout tie, they get the better of us. That man, Harry Kane, is absolutely ecstatic. His 3 goals secured a hat-trick for him and secured the victory for Bayern Munich at full time as it finishes 3-2. Well, it's another opportunity for a trophy squandered, and with Frankfurt being the team getting into the final, if we had beaten Munich, I would have put us as favourites. And with that being our 3rd game of the episode that we're unable to pick up a victory from, there can be no doubt that we are stuck in a rut. It's Lewis Openda, though, that I just cannot believe. He's been in fine form, especially in the last couple of episodes, securing 19 goals in 36 appearances in all competitions, 17 of those coming in just 24 Bundesliga appearances. When he was clean through on goal, I thought it was surefire to hit the back of the net. but my word, the young Belgian didn't take his chance, and it had a catastrophic effect on us for the rest of the game. And whilst the morale is still happy, it has slightly dipped from before, and I've just got to hope this run of bad results doesn't see us start to plummet down the Bundesliga table. But fortunately enough, after getting back to winning ways, beating Freiburg 3-1 away from home, it is now time to get back on track with our Champions League campaign. After beating Inter Milan 4-0, 5-2 over aggregate in the round of 16, we have been drawn against the Spanish giants Atletico Madrid in a game that I think is fairly evenly matched. Now, as usual, we are going to sim the first leg of a knockout stage, and just like what happened against Inter Milan in the first leg, the same thing has happened in the first leg of the quarterfinals against Atletico Madrid. We lose 3-2, but it's at home, and it means we have an absolute mountain to climb if we want to try and proceed to the semi-finals. And so here we go then. After getting knocked out of the DFB Pokal against Bayern Munich, we cannot afford to have another loss in another knockout competition as we face off in the second leg against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. My starting 11 looks not too dissimilar from the one that lost to Bayern Munich, with a couple of changes. Chevalier keeps his place in goal, Henriks comes back in at right back, Simmerkamp, Lukepa and Raul make up the rest of the defence. Schlager's partnered by Holland in midfield, Elmas and Dani Olmo of course start behind Šeško and Poulsen, who starts ahead of Openda, who, as you can see, with fatigue ripping through a lot of my squad, unfortunately drops to the bench. So here we go then, the biggest game of the season so far. It is simply a must-win. A draw or a loss will not do. We have to go out. We have to beat Atletico Madrid on their own turf here. It is going to be a big ask, but so far it's been a good start as Dani Olmo bursts down the left-hand side. He's going to try and see if he can find the cutback back into Benjamin Šeško. Was blocked off though by Hermoso. Good defending. Molina, he's been frantically chased down now by Raul, who's been in a really good shift left back so far this season. Hallman into Elmas. Elmas switching it onto his right, looking for an option, can't find the overlapping runs to find Schlager out on the left-hand side. He finds Raum. Raum looked down the line into Dani Olmo, but Molina intercepted it well. And now Atletico Madrid can try and burst down the right-hand side with Bernardo Silva, the former Manchester City man, seemingly plying his trade here for Atletico Madrid. Finds Griezmann. Griezmann into Immobile. Immobile round the corner, back into Llorente. Llorente blocked off though by Lukepa. But has Lukepa given away a penalty? No, he hasn't. Looks like it's a free kick. I'm not exactly sure what that free kick is for. Well, either way, I'm delighted, to be honest. I thought that was a penalty that Lukepa had given away. After all the talk at the beginning of the episode about Willy Orban giving away daft penalties, I thought Lukepa was about to do the same thing. But then Griezmann's decided to absolutely blaze that free kick high and wide. My word, what a strange start we've had here in the opening 20 minutes of this game. Immobile now once again for Atletico Madrid. They have certainly started the better of the two teams here, and they are looking the most likely to try and score as Griezmann tries to see if he can find his way around my defenders. He does, and oh my word, what a save from his French counterpart. Bernardo Silva is going to take the corner. Looks like he's going to try and play this one short into the path of Griezmann. He does do just that. Griezmann takes it on, tries to go past my defenders. Bernardo Silva gets it back, now into the box, onto the edge to Llorente, lines up a strike, but Hallman with a good block. Witzel, though, has it again. Jimenez now for Madrid. They continue to relentlessly press and pepper my defence, but Simmerkamp with a brilliant interception. The Frenchman performing wonders yet again. Šeško now into the path of Dani Olmo to try and see if he can streak down this left-hand side. End-to-end stuff here in Madrid so far in this game. Dani Olmo, the Spaniard, to play it across, looking for Šeško. It was blocked, though, in the end by the goalkeeper. Goes central into Benjamin Šeško, turns it round the corner yet again into Poulsen, who's dropped off deep here. Poulsen showing some good strength there to try and find a ball out to Elmas on the right-hand side. The central attacking midfielder knocks it off the defender and gets a corner. And it's a corner that Raum is going to take. We've had a lot of success from corners so far this season. I'm going to try and see if I can replicate that here today as it's thrown in. I was looking for Poulsen at the near post. Unfortunately, just couldn't get his head on it, but we will get a second bite of the cherry here for Raum to try and see if he can throw this one back in the box here. Managed to try and find a way into the box, and what a header from Šeško, and what an even better save from the goalkeeper. How on earth did he keep that one out of the back of the net? Bernardo Silva into Antoine Griezmann now to try and bring this one into my box. Griezmann, though, is pressured by Raum, and now Bernardo Silva has it back into him. But Castello Lukepa with another brilliant block, and Hallman can try and bring it away as the referee blows for half-time. Well, my word, I feel like I've got to take a minute here to try and catch my breath. What an end-to-end, exciting, exhilarating first 45 minutes here in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, but neither team able to find the back of the net. We have to change that here in the second 45. Elmas now dancing his way around the Atletico Madrid defence. Hallman plays a lovely ball into Šeško. Is this the moment? What a save! Oblak has been in sensational form so far this game. How on earth is it still 0-0 as Dani Olmo wins it in a really dangerous spot? Šeško picks it up again and bends it round off the post. Unbelievable stuff How have we not found the back of the net? I cannot believe it. Henrichs now into Hallman, shapes up to strike in the end, got his wires mixed up, couldn't find a pass into one of my strikers, but Simicam wins it back. Henrichs into the path of Dani Olmo, and we finally, after so many opportunities of knocking and knocking and knocking at the door, we finally break it down with the Spaniard, Dani Olmo. Well, Jan Olbach will be devastated. He's been absolutely brilliant so far in this game. Save after save. He got a bit fortunate with the post, but finally Dani Olmo with his left foot tucked that away in the top left-hand corner. You do not save those. A first-time strike with the side of his foot. What a lovely finish that was, 1-0. Now obviously away goals no longer count in the Champions League, which to be fair is a massive benefit for me today because it means in order to bring this one to extra time I don't have to score another goal. But of course I do not want it to go to extra time. I want this to get done in the 90 minutes. So I will be pushing on to try and see if I can double my tally here. But it's Atletico Madrid who are pushing on to try and see if they can get back in the game. But it's a good piece of defending in the end from me. Raum now on the left-hand side takes it around the on-rushing challenge, and he's found a ball down into Dani Olmo, turns it around the corner into Poulsen. Poulsen now into Schlager. Schlager to try and burst into the box here. Lovely stuff. Schlager onto his left to drag it wide. Well, desperate times call for desperate measures, and as you can see, I have decided to bring Openda on, and as you could also see, Dani Olmo is almost dead on his feet, so I've brought Baumgartner on in his place, but you can see Elmas on the other side of my midfield. He too is running out of legs, and it just goes to show I desperately need that central attacking midfielder at the start of the summer next season. Immobile for Madrid into Griezmann. Once again, it's a brilliant challenge from Lukeba. Then it's his defensive counterpart, Simicam, who's just nudged off the ball. And Azpilicueta, the former Chelsea man, into Bernardo Silva. Premier League representatives for Atletico Madrid here as Ronaldo now on the left-hand side. Has space to float it in, but Simicam makes amends for his early mistake. Blocks it off. It's going to be a throw-in, and it's one in a very dangerous position. It's Callum Wilson plying his trade for Atletico Madrid, the former Newcastle man, into Bernardo Silva, but Simicam's given away a penalty. I do not believe it. I said at the beginning of the game when I thought Lukeba gave one away that I was frustrated because my other centre-back Orban was doing so. And now my monster at the back, Simicam, he's been so good all season, has gone and given away a penalty at the most pivotal moment. And now, with just 12 minutes remaining on the clock, the fans look on in anticipation as Callum Wilson, the former Newcastle man, steps up, sends my goalkeeper the wrong way, and Atletico Madrid have dragged themselves back into this game. 1-1 here. It's 4-3 on aggregate, and we've got to try and find the back of the net again. And we've got about 10 minutes to do it, plus stoppage time. Can we try and pull off a miracle here and get the victory? For Openda now on as a substitute, dances his way round a couple of players here and finds his way to the edge of the box to play it back across, looking for Šeško with the bicycle kick, and in the end it went straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. But that would have been a world-class goal if I've ever seen one. Elmas now twisting away from a challenge, plays it into Hallman. Hallman looks forward, finds Openda. Openda bursts into the box, he's blocked off by Savic. It was a great piece of defending on Black. My word, he should have just hacked that one away, the defender did. Into space, is the referee? Yes, he is. Gonna call time on a famous Atletico Madrid victory. The fans fly the flag, my players sulk off in disappointment. It's another knockout game in another huge European competition that RB Leipzig have been knocked out of. Chevalier, the goalkeeper, looks to the floor. He cannot believe it. As a full-time era finishes 1-1, Atletico Madrid win 4-3 on aggregate. RB Leipzig knocked out of the Champions League quarter-finals. And despite Dani Olmo scoring, it means that it is going to be another cup competition we go crashing out of, and another opportunity for silverware that slips through the net. Simicam, though, must have his head in his hands. He's been in absolutely electric form all season. He has held my defence together like glue. He's been a monster at the back, but in the biggest game of the season, he let himself down. A daft penalty to give away, and it was so pivotal, and it meant heartbreak for the rest of the RB Leipzig fans. And with morale now really starting to slip in the squad, it looks like things are really starting to go pear-shaped. Starting with my midfielder, Hamadou Adara. He has now submitted a transfer request saying that he's not getting enough game time this season. And with both Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich both coming in with £22 million offers for the young man, meaning that he will depart to the German Giants in the summer. And despite us getting back to winning ways in the Bundesliga, winning 3-1 3-1 away from home. We have still got Dortmund breathing down our necks, a Dortmund team that now have a game in hand on us that if they win, they will lift themselves above us in the Bundesliga. And with my squad starting to look a little bit thin on the ground in terms of quality, if we want to try and improve it come the summer, then I've just got to hope the board will back me and give me the transfer budget to do so. And of course, as ever, if there is anyone that you've got in mind to replace this man Haidara come the summer, please let me know what you think down in the comments below. Of course, who else is it going to be that we're going to be facing off against next in our very next game in the Bundesliga? That is right. In front of our home fans at the RB Arena, we are going to be facing Borussia Dortmund in a game that is a title decider between two huge German clubs. And of course, it is a return to my strongest starting 11. Chevalier keeps his place in goal. Henrik, Simakan, Lekebra and Raum at the back. Schlager, Hallman in midfield. Elmas, Olmo behind Šeško and Openda up front. A win here for either of these two teams will surely put a massive dent in the others' title aspirations this season. And with morale really starting to dip in the RB Leipzig camp, a win for Borussia Dortmund could well be the final nail in my coffin. Brandt now has it for Dortmund. Into Özcan. They've started off the better of the two teams here as they try and storm into my half here. Özcan all the way into my box, but Raum with a really good challenge, and now he can try and bring this one away. He does do a really good job of doing that, and he finds Benjamin Šeško, who plays it around the corner into Dani Olmo, and the Spaniard now can try and streak down the left-hand side, goes all the way to the corner flag, doesn't really have too many options, so tries to cut it back onto his right foot here, plays it into that man Šeško, who lines up to try and hit it on his right. It's rebounded off the defender, but Henriks, the right back, will pick it up again and dances his way past the midfield challenge, plays it into Hallman. Hallman tried to play it into Elmas, good defending, and now Adeyemi to bring this one forward on the counter-attack, but it will be Simakan to come across, doesn't make the challenge, and Henriks doesn't make the challenge either, and Brandt now being chased down by Simakan, but he makes amends at the second attempt, and now Dani Olmo to bring it away. My word, what an end-to-end game so far this game. Hallman though plays it forward. Maatsen just got there ahead of him. He would have been clean through if he'd have been able to get through there. Sabitzer plays it over the top looking for the ball, but Lekebra with a good header. My word, I need to take a breather to try and get some breath back. Hallman now into Openda, took that one really nicely, tried to play it into the channel to the onrushing Šeško, but couldn't quite find him, and now Sabitzer can bring this one away into Julian Brandt down the left-hand side. He's being chased down by Simakan. Simakan does a really good job of winning that back. He knows he's got to make amends, but then goes and gives it away in a really dangerous position to Ian Maatsen. Henriks wins it back, fortunately enough, but defensively we're a bit all over the place at the moment, and we've got to give it away again. Full crook now into Adeyemi, shot! Goal! 1-0 Borussia Dortmund, just like that, and we've only got ourselves to blame, giving the ball away so cheaply, in dangerous positions, time after time after time. Is everything starting to fall apart in front of our own eyes here? What a fabulous finish from Adeyemi to give them a 1-0 lead. Into Simakan. Simakan plays it into Hallman. Hallman round the corner into Openda. Lovely build-up play here. Elmas across into Šeško. That is a goal of absolute beauty. What a way to respond so quickly as well. We cut through the Dortmund defence like a knife through butter. Absolutely pitch perfect. What a way to bring the scores level. Nothing but total class. One-touch passing, lovely interchanging play across the box, laid it on a plate for Šeško, and of course that man, the man of the moment, the man of the hour, is not going to miss from there. Continues his fine form, gets us back on level terms, 1-1. Openda now to come deep, lifts it over into the path of Šeško, really nicely done, turns it around the corner, back into Hallman, twisting away from a challenge, finds Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo finds Raum, the left back, in acres of space. The left back has time to pick out his spot, and within a blink of an eye, we have turned this game on its head. Raum, the left back, found acres of space, and he had so much time, and my word, he made it count. Look at the fans, they've got absolutely berserk. Lovely build-up play yet again. It was laid on a plate by Dani Olmo, and Raum was not going to miss from there. A brilliant finish, smashed it into the top right-hand corner. He continues his fabulous form. 2-1. Well, what an opening 45 minutes. Every single game so far this episode has been absolutely brilliant. From 1-0 down, we showed incredible fight, determination and character to bring it back to 2-1. We've got to make sure that we keep it that way here in the second half. Dani Olmo into Schlager. Schlager takes it on, looks to play it into the channel, into Hallman, really nicely done, and he plays it out to the right-hand side into Henriks. Once again, we're playing some wonderful stuff here. Henriks tried to bring it into the box, tried a little dance around Maatsen, but the young man read that one really well, and that is a fabulous ball into Fulkrug. Really nicely done, and he lays it down the left-hand side into Adeyemi. He's got the pace now to go past Henriks, the fatigued Henriks. He just hasn't got the stamina, he hasn't got the legs to keep up, and now Adeyemi, though, is blocked off by Lekebra. What a brilliant last-ditch challenge. But it's going to go off for a corner here. A really good start in the opening Well, it's going to go off for a corner here. A really good start from Dortmund here at the beginning of this second half. It's headed away, though, only as far as Julian Brandt. Shifts it on to Zabitzer, who strikes straight at my defence. Headed away by Hemrichs, not very far, though. Zabitzer picks up the loose ball, and Emre Can fired it straight at the goalkeeper. Fortunately enough, got a bit of a lucky bounce. Fell back into his path, and it's easy in the end for him. Javier Schlager, really nicely done. Šeško now to try and play it over to the left-hand side into the path of Dani Olmo. Took it away and then was hacked down ridiculously by the Dortmund midfielder, who doesn't even get a yellow card for his troubles. Schlager now, short into Dani Olmo, turns it into Šeško. What a challenge, Özcan. Absolutely brilliant. Madsen now for Dortmund. They've got 20 minutes on the clock here to try and see if they can get a much-needed equaliser for them. Madsen, though, gets it again. Drives down the left-hand side. The Dutchman plays it inside, loses it, though, to Holmans. And now we've got a brilliant opportunity to hit him on the counter with Dani Olmo. The Spaniard takes it on his left. Has he got any options? I'm going to try and find Raum. It was too late. Brilliant run, but he was caught offside. A bit for Dortmund to try and burst through my midfield. Back to Emre Can now. Emre Can being pressured heavily by Luis Openda. Really nicely done by the Belgian. Schuler now also being pressed by Šeško, and he wins it back in a really dangerous spot here. He bursts forward now into the box, continues his run. What a strike, what a goal, and surely that is enough to give us the 3 points here. We put a 2-goal cushion between ourselves and Dortmund. It's absolutely brilliant. The high press was absolutely relentless, firstly from Openda, secondly from Šeško, and he won it on the edge of the half. And what a driving run into the penalty area, and an even better finish. The goalkeeper came out, but he wasn't quick enough. Brilliant finish yet again by the Slovenian to add to his ever-growing goal-scoring tally this season. 3-1. Madsen blocked off yet again, this time by Schlager, and Schlager now plays it down the right-hand side into Openda. The Belgian, ever-present, running and running, but in the end is cut back to Šeško just wasn't enough, but we continue this press. It's absolutely relentless. Özcan now back to the goalkeeper, who has nothing to do but absolutely hoof it away. Simikan with a crunching challenge to win the ball back, and wins it again from Marlon. Lovely stuff from the Frenchman. Šeško now out to Hartmann on as a substitute. The left back with the extra energy tried to cut it back yet again, but yet again it was good defending from Dortmund, but it doesn't matter because the referee blows for full time. Well, is this game going to have huge ramifications on the title fight? The Dortmund players drop to the floor in utter disbelief at what they have seen here today. Undone by the incredible attacking talents of Openda and Benjamin Šeško. As at full time it finishes RB Leipzig 3, Dortmund 1. Now that was arguably our biggest win of the entire season. We restore our lead back at the top of the Bundesliga to 2 points now, with both teams level on games played. And with us heading into the final month of the calendar, we are just 3 games away from a magnificent first ever Bundesliga title for RB Leipzig. Can I lift my first trophy this season? And can this squad hold their nerve to get us across the line? But if you want to find out, you'll have to watch the season finale next time round, because that is that for the end of today's episode. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again next time.